Today's my presentation is how my body turned into a terror. So 80-year-old female, diabetic, hypertensive, moderate LV dysfunction, EF of 40%, coronary angiography done by us in 2019, which was suggestive of severe triple vessel disease. She was advised revascularization at the same time, but as usual, not willing, just continued medical management. Now presented with episodes of recurrent LVF and a ECG with already an evolved anterior wall MI. Echo done now showed an anterior wall which is akinetic and thinned out with a EF of around 25-30% and a mild MR. So coming to the angiogram, the caudal view which shows heavily calcific coronary arteries. There is diffuse disease in the proximal LAD and the mid LAD is completely cut off. There is no flow neither from the right system, no retrograde or antegrade flow. A heavily calcific circumflex proximal segment and the mid segment and a dominant circumflex. In the yellow cranial view, which shows heavy calcium in the proximal circumflex and mid circumflex and a non-dominant RCA. So our strategy was first obviously CABG. They considered a surgeon, but surgeon denied in view of LAD being akinetic, a non-viable myocardium on the PET scan. So we had to go ahead with a PCI. So whether with or without mechanical circulatory support, and what will be the strategy. So we decided to go ahead with a upfront impella guided strategy in view of recurrent LVF and LV dysfunction. TPI placed into the RV and an impella placed into the LV. Guiding shoots showing the heavily calcific lesions. Upfront took a rotabur 1.5 mm, rotablated from the left main into the proximal to mid LCX for 3 to 4 runs. You can see decent cut with the rotablation. Thereafter, I changed the rota wire to a cyan blue wire using a guide plus 2 extension catheter for a good support. First pre-dilated with a 2.5 into 10 mm Wolverine cutting balloon. Thereafter with an open NC balloon, a 3 into 10 mm open NC balloon. Thereafter you can see the dilated segment. First decided to stent the proximal to mid circumflex using a 2.75 into 20 mm drug eluting stent deployed at nominal pressures and then post dilated at high pressures. All going as per track. Took a 3.5 into 16 mm DS from the left main into the proximal circumflex and deployed at nominal pressures overlapping with the previously deployed stent. So far we were happy, everything going on track, but now we realize something. So we go step by step. While deploying the left main stent, as you can see, we could not appreciate anything here. Now while we were deploying the stent, we could see some funneling in the proximal segment. And once we deployed it completely, we could see that a part of the guide extension catheter got stuck behind the stent strut and was dislodged there adjoining with the deployed stent. So we did not know what to do. Our guide extension, part of guide extension was stuck there. We were not able to get it out. We post-dilated with the same stent balloon in the hope that it would get expanded, but because of the PTFA nature, it would recoil again. So same recoil again. Post-dilated with a high 3.5 into 10 mm open NC balloon at high pressures, but still the guide extension would recoil again. Took a IVUS which showed good areas of the ostial circumflex and the distal circumflex, but the part which had the jailed EL2 showed an area of around 3.32. Just tried with a 4 into 12 mm shockwave balloon in the hope that we could expand the PTFA catheter, but again we failed in that. There was no expansion and it would just recoil again. Finally, we thought we would just stent it, and so first post-dilated the proximal stent with a 3 and 3.5 NC balloon, and thereafter took a 4 into 8 mm drug eluting stent into the left main, overlapping with the previously deployed stent, and then post-dilated with a 4.5 into 8 mm NC balloon. Luckily, we could get away with a good expansion with the stent, and these are all final results. Did a IVUS final picture. So distal circumflex area of 5.5, ostial around 13, distal left main 12.1, and the ostial left main around 13.5. So my take-home message is expanding PTFA catheters can be challenging due to their inherent nature. Intravascular lithotripsy was ineffective in expanding the elastic recoiling material. Stenting in such situations as a bailout measures can resolve the acute issues but carries long-term risk. Jailing a side branch with a PTFA catheter acts as a cover stent and may compromise the blood flow. So guide extension is a useful tool, but poor tip visibility can lead to complications.